Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show today. And in this part of the Cricket Happening Show, we are going to look at the beginning of the Test series between India and New Zealand, where New Zealand finished off in a very strong position after losing the toss on a very overcast day, where India definitely made that count. In fact, India were the ones who actually won the toss and put New Zealand into bat. And New Zealand, they were in a situation where the Indian pacers had actually picked up 3 wickets. But after that, it was a great recovery by New Zealand, with some counter-attacking strokes being played by the New Zealand captain Brendon Mcullum, who went on to his 9th Test century, and Kane Williamson getting his 2nd Test century. And Kane Williamson, well, he just continued from where he left off in the one-day series, and continues to be a wonderful player to really watch. And both of them put up a 221 run stand to take New Zealand to a very good score on the first day at 329 for 4. In fact, the New Zealand captain Brendon Mcullum is looking hungry for more runs, currently batting on 140 odd runs. He is in fact not out 143. So that is something that I'll be talking about. And then we will have also a look at Bangladesh putting up a very firm reply in reply to Sri Lanka's 587 all out. In fact, they were 409 for 8 at close of play, thanks in the main to a record second wicket stand between Imrul Kayes, who actually both of them registering their maiden tons in Test cricket. Shamsur Rahman, in fact, registering his maiden ton in his only his 2nd Test match. And as far as Imrul Kayes is concerned, coming into Test cricket, coming to international cricket after a gap of 2 years, getting his maiden ton in Test cricket. And they were the ones who really forged this 2nd wicket partnership, which yielded probably 232 runs. And that's what, because they took the score from it was a record 2nd wicket partnership, which took the score for Bangladesh to 409 for 8 at close of play. And then we'll also have a look at the England squad that has been announced for the T20 World Cup, which has a few surprises too. So let's start off with the first game, as I said, between New Zealand and India, where the Test series started at Eden Park in Auckland on yesterday. That was the first day's play, and as I said, the toss was pretty vital, and India once again had the luck of the toss, and India won the toss and elected to field on this pitch. And especially considering that the sky was absolutely overcast, it was a very good decision made by Mahendra Singh Dhoni. And but one thing that I would like to talk about here is that India decided to drop their front line off spinner Ravichandran Ashwin. Now that's something was very surprising, because he preferred it was Ravindra Jadeja, the left arm spinner, was preferred to right arm off spin of Ravichandran Ashwin, which came as a real surprise, because one could understand if Ravichandran Ashwin was only a bowler, but now with his, he has already shown his capabilities as a full-fledged all-rounder. Even though Ravindra Jadeja is an all-rounder, but I think Ravichandran Ashwin is a much in the sense his bowling is the one, because India has only one frontline spinner, and Ravindra Jadeja, not taking any credit away from him, but one was a bit surprised. At least I was a bit surprised that Ravindra Jadeja was preferred ahead of Ravichandran Ashwin. And this is a point which the former great batsman Martin Crowe has also raised. So that is something that I wanted to talk about. So India are winning the toss and putting New Zealand into bat. Well, they had their openers Peter Fulton and Ken Rutherford opening the innings, and the Mohammad Shami was bowling a good line, getting the ball to really zip. As I said, the cloud was absolutely overcast. Zahir Khan was also doing well, and they were taking advantage of the conditions which was prevalent, and the score had moved on to 19, with the batsman not really able to put bat to ball, with the ball really swinging about, in that overcast conditions, and Ishan Sharma was the one who actually provided the breakthrough when he had Hamish Rutherford, who was actually playing away, in the sense he was playing away from the body, and he was beautifully taken by Ajinkya Rahane at the gully region. What a catch it was! It was a splendid catch which was taken, and that was the breakthrough which was provided by Ishan Sharma, and India were 19 for 1 at that particular stage. New Zealand lost their first wicket with the score on 19, with Hamish Rutherford taken splendidly by Rahane of the bowling of Ishan Sharma for 6 with 1-4, and Hamish Rutherford wanted to actually slash that ball through to the fence. After that, Peter Fulton was joined in by Kane Williamson, and Peter Fulton, he was, as you know, he's a great blocker of the ball, but then Zahir Khan did him in by actually wrapping him in front of the wicket, and Peter Fulton was walking back to the pavilion. LBW bowled Zahir Khan for 13 with 2 boundaries, and the score read 23 for 2. And then Ross Taylor came into Kane Williamson, and one expected that Ross Taylor and Kane Williamson, like what they did in the one-day internationals against India, are going to really once again prove the nemesis for India. But fortunately for India, Ross Taylor was taken. It was a good field which was set. A silly mid-off was set for Ross Taylor by Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and Ross Taylor on the drive was caught very well by Jadeja of the bowling of Ishan Sharma for 3, and that meant the score. So at that time, New Zealand were in real trouble, and India had justified by winning the toss and electing to field, and New Zealand were in real trouble at 30 for 3. After that, Kane Williamson was at the crease, and Brendon Mcullum, the New Zealand captain, joined him. Well, they just strode on after. It was a very good session for India. That was the only session that belonged to India throughout the entire day here in the first test on the first day played at Eden Park in Auckland, with the score moving on to 50 with Kane Williamson hitting a few boundaries, and New Zealand went to lunch at 54 for the loss of 3 wickets. But once the lunch was over, as I said, that was the only session that actually belonged to India. But once the lunch session was over and they came back after lunch, it was Kane Williamson and Brendon Mcullum really deciding that they probably there was also one thing which was seen after the lunch session, that the pitch started easing out, and definitely the bite that was there in the earlier stages was gone. The overcast conditions had disappeared, and well, the batsmen had to make hay, and that's what they precisely did, as Kane Williamson and Brendon Mcullum started their work in right earnest. And what they did is, realizing that the pitch is playing much better than before, they decided to start playing their strokes, and well, it was a real treat to watch them. And Indian bowlers were also very guilty of bowling some short pitch deliveries, and it was easy for the batsmen to actually pull them. Kane Williamson was driving impeccably. In fact, his straight drives were absolutely gems, I would say, and he was cutting well, he was pulling well. Brendon Mcullum, on the other hand, was forcing the ball off the back foot beautifully, and he was also punching well down the ground. And it was a sort of a finesse as far as Kane Williamson was concerned. As far as Brendon Mcullum was concerned, it was power and timing, and both of them realized, and suddenly for India, a situation which was really much better for them in the first session turned out to be slowly started getting away from their grasp, as both of them worked together, Kane Williamson and Brendon Mcullum, working to put up a partnership of 221 runs for the 4th wicket to really put India out on the first day by putting up this partnership in some brilliant fashion, I would say. And as I said, there was a lot of short pitch bowling bowled, and as the pitch was easing out, and I thought it was a good judgment on the part of Kane Williamson and Brendon Mcullum to play the stroke. They decided that they would once lunch was over, as I said, it was total domination by New Zealand, as both the batsmen started playing their strokes with gay abandon, and in fact Kane Williamson coming down the wicket and lofting Ravindra Jadeja for a six, and then he pulled Mohammad Shami for a six, and Brendon Mcullum, the captain, well, he went on in his merry way. He was the more aggressive of the two, and he also slammed a few sixes. And Brendon Mcullum, in fact, went to his century with a 6-over long off of the bowling of Jadeja. And suddenly there was nothing that the Indian bowlers could do, and it was batting which was at its best. And that 221-run partnership had taken the score to 251. And then Zahir Khan actually was pretty lucky to bowl an innocuous delivery down the leg side. Kane Williamson, in trying to actually leg glance the delivery, got an edge onto it, and Dhoni behind the stumps took the catch, and Williamson was out after making some really his strokes were really effortless. It was played with effortless ease, and it was a great treat to watch Kane Williamson. And Kane Williamson, going on in the merry way as he did in the one-day internationals, played a great hand here in helping New Zealand recover from a sorry situation at 30 for 3, and Kane Williamson was gone. Caught Dhoni bowled Khan after making 113 runs with 10 fours and 2 sixes. And after that, Brendon Mcullum, that was the 4th wicket for India. And after that, again, it was hard work for India as Corey Anderson joined Brendon Mcullum. And Corey Anderson, well, he couldn't really, I mean, I wouldn't say he could force the pace, and he was really beaten a couple of times by the pace bowlers. Even he was also finding it a bit difficult to play the spin too, even though he hit 5 fours and 1 6 to finish on an unbeaten 42 with 5 fours and 1 6. As stumps were drawn, in fact, New Zealand had actually built up a good score on the board, ending on stumps on day 1, finishing at 329 for 4, with India claiming the new ball. Brendon Mcullum was not out 143 with 18 fours and 2 sixes, looking hungry for more. Corey Anderson not out 42, and that was the match situation as far as the first day was concerned at Eden Park in Auckland in the first test match of the series. Looking at the bowling, Shami 22 over 6 maiden none for 66. I thought he was the best bowler of the lot. He was a bit luckless. Zahir Khan 23 overs 2 maidens 2 for 98. Also, India dropped a few catches too, which was not good. Ishan Sharma 21 overs 4 maidens 2 for 62. Jadeja 20 overs 1 maiden none for 81. In fact, Mahendra Singh Dhoni also used the services of Virat Kohli 1 over for 4 runs, and Rohit Sharma bowled 3 overs for 12 runs. Now, as I said, India definitely let go away the initiative, and New Zealand finished off on a very, very good note on the first day of the Test series at 329 for 4. But for India now, the new ball is the ball is pretty new, and it would be good to see whether India can actually pick up a few wickets pretty early, New Zealand wickets today. Because even though Brendon Mcullum, as I said, looking pretty solid right now, looking hungry for more, and Corey Anderson probably might try to really get a few big hits today. For the Indian bowlers, the task is really cut out. But one thing I would like to say here is that Indian bowlers have to strike pretty early today, because that's the best chance for them. And hopefully, if the conditions are going to be overcast, they could do what they did in the first session on the first day, and they could actually try to restrict this New Zealand score in the first innings. Well, from here, let's leave from here and now move on to Bangladesh in the match between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. It was the 3rd day's play, and as you know, the other day Shamsur Rahman Imrul Kayes had taken the score on to 86. They came when Tamim Iqbal was clean bowled, and after that Shamsur Rahman playing his second test, Imrul Kayes on his comeback. Both of them took their time at the crease. They really nurdled some runs initially, and then slowly started blossoming and started playing their strokes. They played some very good pull strokes, nice drives, and both of them really started frustrating the Sri Lankan bowlers by starting putting runs on the board in a pretty quick manner. In fact, as I said, it was an approach which was interspersed, which was defense interspersed with aggression, and that went on in a very nice way. And they started putting on a very big partnership. It was a record second wicket partnership for Bangladesh. Shamsur Rahman and Imrul Kayes stitched together a partnership of 232 runs, in which Shamsur Rahman, in only his second test match, going on to make his maiden test century, making 106 runs with 11 fours and 1 6, and Imrul Kayes, a bit nervous in his 90s, but went on to get 115 runs with 17 fours and 1 6. And the only thing, and they had done all the hard work, and they'd taken the score on to 232, and considering that they had still had the follow-on figure of 387 in mind, one would have expected Shamsur Rahman and Imrul Kayes to really stay put at the crease for much longer time, but that was not to be, as Ajanta Mendes dealt them a double blow immediately. In fact, he came in and first picked up the wicket, and it was a very loose stroke as far as Shamsur Rahman and Imrul Kayes were concerned. As first to go was Shamsur Rahman, who was clean bowled by Ajanta Mendes for 106, and then Mominul Haq, who did well in the first test match, couldn't have it his way, as he was LBW ball Dilruwan Pereira, who was actually turning the ball well. He got a ball to move away from him, and Mominul Haq was in front of the wicket. The ball actually turned in, and he was trapped LBW by Dilruwan Pereira for 13 with 2 boundaries. That made it 252 for 3, and suddenly when Imrul Kayes also placed a loose shot of the bowling of Ajanta Mendes for 115, it was 259 for 4, and suddenly Sri Lanka had got into the match after picking up those pretty quick wickets. After that, it was Shakib Al Hasan along with Mushfiqur Rahim in the middle, and Mushfiqur Rahim, well, he had an injury, as you know. He still came into bat, and both of them, Shakib Al Hasan and Mushfiqur Rahim, put on 60 runs for the 5th wicket to just try to rectify matters, because it was very essential that both of them had to stay and actually try to get Bangladesh past that initial target of 387 to avoid the follow-on. Well, but Mushfiqur Rahim was a victim, as he was caught by Silva of the bowling of Pereira after making 20 runs with 1 4 and 1 6. And after that was Shakib Al Hasan, who initially started off in a very, very slow fashion. In fact, he scored only 1 run of the first 25 balls he faced, so he was really kept quiet by the Sri Lankan bowlers. But then Shakib Al Hasan slowly started opening out, and after that it was no stopping Shakib Al Hasan, as he started really unveiling an array of strokes through the offside by cracking 9 boundaries in a knock of 50 before Pereira was the one who actually picked up Shakib Al Hasan wicket. He was gone for 50, and that made it 350 for 6. And then Mushfiqur, it was Nasir Hussain and Mahmudullah who took Bangladesh past that very important figure of 387 as they avoided the follow-on, with Nasir Hussain playing some fine strokes to contribute 42 runs with 7 fours. And then just towards the fag end of the day, once more it was Ajanta Mendes coming in and picking up his 3rd and 4th wicket. As he picked up first, the wicket of Nasir Hussain was caught by Chandimal for 42 very good runs with 7 fours, and Sohail Ghazi was out the very next delivery when he was trapped LBW by Ajanta Mendes for a duck, and then it was left to Mahmudullah to really take Bangladesh to. But Bangladesh had done one good thing, is that they had avoided the follow-on by getting on to the 387 run mark, and finally Mahmudullah saw the day for Bangladesh, remaining on an unbeaten 30 with 3 fours, and Al Hameen Hussain, the tail-ender, was not out on 3, and Bangladesh finishing with a very, very firm reply to Bangladesh to Sri Lanka's 587 all-out at 409 for 8 wickets. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, Lakmal 23 overs 5 maidens 1 for 68, but the best bowler on show was Ajanta Mendes, who dealt them a double blow initially by picking up the two maiden centurions, Shamsur Rahman and Imrul Kayes, and then towards the fag end of the day, getting the wicket of Nasir Hussain and Sohail Ghazi in 2 balls in succession. 27 overs 2 maidens, 84 runs and 4 wickets. So he richly deserved that haul there. Dilruwan Pereira also bowled well, 39 overs 4 maidens, 119 runs and 3 wickets. Angelo Matthews 11 overs maiden, none for 33. Now, one thing is that Mahmudullah, who is there on 30, but still Bangladesh still has a task over there. On the 4th day, Sri Lanka are still ahead by 178 runs. So Sri Lanka would be hoping that they could pick up a few quick wickets tomorrow morning. That is on the 4th day. But again, and the other thing is that Bangladesh have their tail now, so they only have Al-Amin Hussain Abdul Razak to come. Mahmudullah is the only recognized batsman. So Mahmudullah would be probably hoping that he can score some quick runs and take this total to probably the 450 mark, which would give them some psychological, not much, but definitely I thought Sri Lanka, even though Bangladesh have put up a good show by putting on 409 on the board, I think Sri Lanka are still on the ascendant because they still are leading by 178 runs going into the 4th day. And well, so tomorrow's play is something which is going to be, at least the morning session will be interesting to see whether Bangladesh put up some runs on the board and still hold the Sri Lankan bowlers at bay, or is it the Sri Lankan bowlers who are going to have a quick end to this Bangladeshi first innings. There are only 2 wickets remain, as you know. So that is something that will be known when the 4th day's play takes place. But I thought still the match is still interesting. We will know what exactly the outcome will be once the 4th day's play is over in this match here at Chittagong. Well, from here, let's look at some cricket news, and that is, I'm going to briefly cover this. This is the, as you know, the T20 World Cup is coming in Bangladesh in March, and England have announced their World T20 team. Well, there are, as you know, the other day I couldn't cover about that Kevin Pietersen now is not in favor of the England selectors, and especially the new chairman of cricket, Paul Downton, the new selector who's coming in, James Whittaker, the former English batsman. They have decided that Kevin Pietersen wouldn't be. I mean, that really shows, and that Kevin Pietersen has not been selected for the England World T20. That clearly shows that England are no longer interested in Kevin Pietersen, and probably Kevin Pietersen's career is definitely coming to an end. So there's no Kevin Pietersen, which according to me, I don't really agree with it. I thought Kevin Pietersen still has a lot to contribute to England, but well, the English selectors, keeping in view that England did dismally against Australia, and also keeping in view the T20 World Cup, and also keeping in view the World Cup which is coming up in 2015 in Australia and New Zealand, have decided to go for some young hands and also for some rookies. So what they have done is in this particular team, they have included Worcestershire's Moeen Ali. Now Moeen Ali is a person who actually plays for Worcester. He has scored a lot of runs there. He actually sports a beard like Hashim Amla of South Africa, and what he does is he's a very good batsman, scores a lot of runs. He's an exciting batsman, and also the other thing, good advantage for Moeen Ali is that he's a good right-arm off spinner. So he's probably classified as an all-rounder, so they have picked him up. And also, this has come as a real surprise because Lancashire's left-arm spinner, Stephen Perry, at the age of 28, has been given an opportunity. And when I was really surprised that Scott Borthwick's name doesn't figure, even though he played against Australia, as you remember, I was a bit surprised over there. So, but Stephen Perry, they have decided to go for Stephen Perry, probably keeping in mind that this is a build-up to the T20 World Cup, and also for the World Cup 50 overs competition coming up in Australia and New Zealand. So England are definitely viewing the future. But one thing again surprised me, Joe Dernbach, who actually leaked a lot of runs in Australia, has still been included in this T20 World Cup in England. That is something for the selectors to really think over, but well, he has been included. As far as the full squad is concerned, Stuart Broad is the captain, Owen Morgan, Moeen Ali, Ravi Bopara, Tim Bresnan, Josh Butler, Jared Dernbach. Harry Gurney is another new player who has been included. Alex Hales, Chris Jordan, Michael Lamb, who is also a very good T20 specialist, Stephen Parry of Lancashire, Joe Root, Ben Stokes, James Treadwell, and Luke Wright. So that's the team composition. So I think England are the first team to announce the T20 World Cup, announce the team for the T20 World Cup. So England have definitely kept an eye for the future now, and they have decided that this is the time for them to really build upon a team for the 2015 World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that brings an end to the Cricket Happening show for today. Hope you all enjoyed my Cricket Happening show. Thanks for your company as usual. Thanks for your complete cooperation to the cricket show. Your host Ram will be seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.